saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my sins relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already found His grace hath
From Uncle Nelson that I'm going to start out reading, and then I have another one from Dawn that sent one through email too as well. So, what can I say about Mom? She had a love for life that really only scratched the surface of what she would like to have done. Though she did get to travel, I'm sure she had a lot more dreams of places to go and things to see. Mom's love for teaching has put a little of her into so many of her students. She sowed a lot of seeds and imparted much of herself in people all around the country. I always remember the summers when all the cousins would come to spend the summer on the farm. Sometimes there would be 8 or 10 of us running around looking for things to get into. Mom never seemed to get rattled or yelled at us. I'm sure we all have great memories of her. Mom had a strong belief in God. She made sure we were all in Sunday school or church on Sunday. Mom was always involved in church, the minister, and their families. I'm certain Mom is in heaven with Dad, and they're watching over all of our families. I'm glad to have had the opportunity to have Mom visit us while we get to know, for a while, and get to know her grandchildren here. They love her very much. As for me, I'll always keep that picture of her in my mind, of her having so much fun playing Little Red Rooster. Mom is a strong lady, and she has left her love in so many ways, in so many lives, and in so many places. I love you, Mom. Nelson. And then there's one from Dawn. Dawn Zabay Crowder. Dear Grandma, I wish I could have been with you last week. You have meant so much to me over the years. Ever-changing roles. As Grandma, yes. But also as mentor, traveling companion, advisor, and friend. I feel lucky to have known you, and I will forever rely on your example you provided. Thank you for visiting me in Alaska, not once, but twice, and sharing countless adventures with me there. You traveled by dog sled, snowmobile, bush plane, and once, when no planes were flying, a bumpy 4x4 ride on a frozen river. You were game for anything, ice fishing, sewing native dolls, pulling goose feathers, watching the Iditarod. You were so young at heart and involved with my students and the community that you are fondly remembered to this day by the people of Taluska. Thank you for visiting every home I ever lived in, and for staying long enough to cultivate a sense we really knew each other, even with most of the country between us. Thank you for modeling how to live a good life and generous life, always interested in others. Thank you for coming out to meet Anna and for rocking her to sleep so many times. I needed you, and you came. Thank you for modeling how to stay healthy and active. I love that you did Tai Chi sitting in your chair and studying alternative healing practices. I love that you were something of a vinegar guru and never far from a piece of scripture or poetry to feed your mind and spirit. Thank you for always being authentic with me, and yes, shaking me down a couple times. You gave me heck for leaving the classroom, but I never for a moment did I doubt that you loved me. I think it is the cross of all good teachers, that they are trained to see where others might improve, and you are never shy about sharing such thoughts with the best of intentions. It was a winky smiley face. I'll never forget what you have meant to me. I wish I would have connected for one last real phone call before you became ill, but that too is a lesson. Time is precious. Love can't wait. And I will always love you, Grandma. Oh, and I will always love you, Grandma. Thank you for sharing your life with me. Please be at peace and say hello to Grandpa for me. Much love, Dawn.
Thank you. As a parent, to us too. We spent a lot of time around here when we were raising our family. We were here almost every weekend. We drove up from down south and back, and I remember spending time on the farm. I was a city kid and they played some awful tricks on me. But it was all in good fun. I believe the woman saved every piece of paper she ever owned. We were going through a bunch of pictures and things last night, digging around to find pictures for the display in the room next door. And this funny little brown piece of paper came out, and Janie handed it to me, and she says, "Here, read this." So I think I will. It says, "Think of stepping on shore." Now, the Reverend was talking about thinking. Think of stepping on shore and finding it heaven. Think of taking hold of a hand and finding it God's hand. Think of breathing new air and find it celestial air. Think of feeling invigorated and finding it immortality. Think of passing from storm to storm to an unknown calm. Think of walking up and finding it home.
Thank you.
This is one of many pieces of paper.
I had to come up and talk. You knew that, good job. This is a true celebration in my life. Not that we lost Joyce, but for what she brought into my family. And back in 1979, my wife and I got out of the Army, and I had to rush back to Wisconsin to see my mom pass away. I had been alive for my mom in my life for 29 years. Joyce, Mom, had been in my life for 40 years. And what's so important about it is that her and Dad provide an opportunity for my kids to have a grandma and grandpa, which they wouldn't have had because both my parents died. And also to have been able to share the family that I have now. I would have never been able to experience that. Miss you, Mom.